So today is going to really be my most comprehensive guide onto how to be a happier single, a la Selena Gomez. She was recently quoted, and I'm going to read it directly from the interview. Someday is when I'm going to wake up and I'm annoyed and I'm like, I'm going to be alone forever. But after that 15 minutes goes away, I say to myself, I know that there is someone for everyone. Do you ever feel like, do you also feel at times like you'll be forever alone? Well, I want you to know firstly that that is just simply not true. Like, give you guys some tips on how I've been able to find myself like as a happy single, because I'm not gonna lie, there are times when you're like single so long where you're just like bored, but there is hope in it. I want to say that this also applies even if you've never been in a relationship before either. So firstly, I really want to advertise the fact that when you rewire your brain for gratitude, you will actually be more positive, and there actually is a science to this. I will post a link to a video below. When you express gratitude, it changes your brain chemistry, and it makes you more positive, and it actually even helps deflect negativity. The way that I realize that I'm expressing gratitude is like when I'm like eating food and I'm like, oh my gosh, this burger is so good, or like, oh, I had such a nice massage today, that kind of thing. Or like, even with your friendships and stuff, and like if you are hanging out with a friend and then like you get home and you're like, oh, I'm so glad that you made the time to hang out with me, I'm really grateful. Like, those are all like little ways to really express gratitude. And I even recommend keeping a gratitude journal and just like write one thing a day, and it takes 21 days to form a habit. So like just write one thing a day that you're grateful for. For the most part, I just kind of reflect at the end of the day on like what I was grateful for, usually before I fall asleep. I think this is actually like really effective and easy to do, especially if you don't have the time to like write down in a journal every day. Oh, another way to help with making yourself a happier single is by like slowly breaking down your own barriers in your mind against happiness. I don't know if you guys have heard of this hypnotherapist. You can easily find her on YouTube through Mind Valley. Her name is Marissa Peer. She's great. A lot of people really have blockages to happiness. She has some really great meditations, generally about 20 minutes or so. And I also suggest listening to the like subliminal messaging stuff on YouTube as well. A great channel for that is Growing Forever. I listen to the I Am a Powerful Creator very often, probably like at least once a day, or every few days. It gives you all of these affirmations, like I am a powerful creator and stuff, and it really gets into your mind, like the positive thoughts. I think that really helps. You have to let go of anger as well, if you want to be happier. I don't know if you guys have heard that quote, like, oh, holding on to anger or resentment is kind of like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. When you're holding on to anger, what is that really doing? Is that making you feel better, or is that just making you feel more angry? And are you justifying your own behavior against that person? Being angry or resentful, that's not going to change the other person's behavior, if at all possible, to just let it go. Something a lot of people won't really tell you about how to be a happier single is to be really picky about who you're sexually intimate with. I know in Christianity, like a lot of pastors, they like to give the word that, like wait till you're married. Obviously, that doesn't work for everyone. I just think that when you're in your 20s, you may date a lot of guys. Just be really picky about who your sexual partners are, because not a lot of guys are really mature enough. And, when you're sexually intimate in your relationship, you're really like evolving it, and you're bonding with that person. And if your relationship ends with that person, it's like breakups are not fun. Also, piggybacking off of the sexual partners is be prepared to shelve your sexual urges for a few years. Being in your 20s, a lot of it you'll be celibate. Well, I mean, it really just depends. Like, just be prepared, and I feel like it's a smart thing to really just shelve your sexual urges for the time being if you're not in a serious relationship, because it can be a distraction. A lot of my friends and even I, we've all, been in pursuit of these relationships, and thinking, sex is like really gonna make me feel happy, but it really can just break you. So be like really aware, like if you are in a sexual relationship, like just be really aware of your feelings, and be careful, because people can use you. Learn to be your own best friend. Learn to talk to yourself like a really good friend. Say that you didn't do very well on a test in school. You have to really talk to yourself like you would talk to your friend. You wouldn't be telling your friend like, oh, you suck, you're terrible at everything. You wouldn't be doing that. Be like, hey, you did your best, and just try harder next time and see if maybe, you can do better. Another thing with that is learning how to entertain yourself and make yourself happy. Being able to self-pacify is really important. I think nowadays we're all so used to having our cell phones. It's not really reasonable to just be at home every day on your cell phone. Don't be afraid to go out by yourself in public. Go to a park, go to a restaurant, go watch a movie by yourself. Like, there's really nothing wrong with doing any of that stuff by yourself. In fact, it may even be more peaceful. I like going to movies and stuff by myself because I feel like sometimes when you're with a friend, they want to have like a dialogue while you're watching the movie, and it kind of distracts from watching it. There's this book I've been reading, and like some really profound advice that I really liked in the book was to let go of what society says that you need to be happy or to be normal. And I'm going to show you the book. This is the book. It's called The Code of the Extraordinary Mind by Vishen Lakhiani. He's the founder of Mind Valley. They're like a website, and they also have a YouTube channel. Marissa Peer they've like recorded a lot of her workshops on Mind Valley. So definitely check out Mind Valley. I think it's really awesome. If you can, like, as long as you don't take offense to this phrasing, learn to be like a more fun person to be around, because it's not only about looking attractive to the gender that you prefer, it's also about your energy being attractive too. You ever like meet a guy and like they look gorgeous, and then like their personality is like a dud, or they're like kind of a jerk? It's really about, you have to be a fun person to be around, and maybe like smooth out any of your own edges, like if you feel like you're an aggressive person or anything like that. Another thing that I want to add about how to be a happier person is to also like isolate yourself just a little bit. Like, protect your own mind space, from negativity, and really just foster your own positivity and happiness. Knowing to isolate yourself just a little bit helps prevent any kind of codependency. And, by isolating yourself just a little bit, you're not being selfish, you're not being a snob or anything. You're just protecting your own energy, and it's not necessarily that you're unfriendly or anything. It's just that you really want to protect your headspace. Another thing that makes me happy is when I can look presentable. Right now we have COVID-19 still running rampant in the country at the time that I'm recording this. So even for me to get up in the morning and still have that routine of like putting on clothes, and like even just putting my hair in a bun and trying to look a little bit decent, that helps. Like putting on, like I prefer like having my hair nice, and like having just a little bit of makeup, a little powder, mascara, something like presentable, and just doing the little things that doesn't make you a vain person at all. Have you guys ever seen Queer Eye for the Straight Guy? Love that show. Well, I should say the version that's on Netflix, because Tan Francie always says that, it's not about being vain, it's about making yourself presentable, because when you look good, you feel good, and that it really is the truth. I don't know if I've already mentioned it, but I do want to mention auto-suggestion and positive affirmations. It's kind of the same thing. And again, you can check out Growing Forever's YouTube channel. They're really great. You kind of have to give yourself subliminal messages of happiness and stuff, and that will make you like a lot happier. Being single, think of it as like, I'm single, but this is temporary, and I'm getting prepared for my next great relationship, and I want to be in a good headspace for my next great relationship. Just think of being single as like, I'm preparing myself for my next partner. Just, keep hoping and praying and manifesting that happens. And, Selena Gomez, I think she'll be alright. I mean, she's obviously super pretty, super rich. She can travel all over the world. I just think it's a matter of time before she finds her next partner. And remember, guys, you're not forever alone. Create great friendships, quality over quantity. Yeah, I think that's really my most comprehensive guide on how to be like a happier single. If you guys have any tips or tricks, please share them below. I would love to know as well. And you guys have a great one. Bye!